MEC, we believe we're about to manage the situation. We are requesting that we postpone our meeting with you because we'll be in a position to come to a decision that we believe will remedy the situation. I reluctantly and politely declined the request to postpone the meeting because my view was very simple. If you want to postpone the meeting that I must have with you on this matter, and you say you are about to reach a solution, but you have not yet my views, so that solution might not necessarily meet the issues that we want, and therefore I insisted that we continue with the meeting. Indeed, we met around 9 o'clock this morning. The head of the school, that is the bishop that is responsible for the school, joined us. We had a visitor. And then we've got the chairperson of council of the management school and members of the management. And we met with them and we said we don't want to pass judgment in the public space. And therefore, we're giving them an opportunity to explain what happened and the actions that they've taken and whether they feel the situation is supposed to be where it is now, because all of us, we know in the public space, members of society feel the matter was badly handled. So we gave them an opportunity to explain. I must be honest that I was deeply, deeply, deeply disappointed, irritated, and felt undermined. That people want to justify racism, want to romanticize racism, want to sweep racism under the carpet, and want to tell us to move on, that this thing has happened, and therefore, as the school, they feel that there is a restorative justice that they believe the person can be rehabilitated. And I told them in no uncertain terms that there's no way that this matter can be handled in that particular fashion, and that there are 3 demands that they need to handle as the management, and they must convene immediately and deal with those 3 issues. One, I was completely unhappy with the conduct of the principal in explaining the situation. With that kind of a principal presiding over the school and explaining this allegation of racism, it was quite clear that the principal is not comfortable, is not even comfortable to distance himself from the issue. 2, nothing that will keep the teacher here will satisfy me. So if there have to be a decision, the decision that that teacher must not be in the school premises. How they arrive at that decision is up to them. Mainly because you can't have somebody that have been found guilty of racism still moving around the school premises, still interacting with the same learners, still working with the same learners. And we are told that it's restorative justice, and therefore that person. Thirdly, is that this particular teacher must be immediately reported to the South African Council of Educators, so that if found guilty by the South African Council of Educators, he cannot continue to be an educator within the schooling environment in the Republic of South Africa. So I gave them the deadline of 1 o'clock today to respond to the 3 issues that I've raised them. I've also indicated that if they don't arrive at a decision that will satisfy me, including withdrawing the public statement that they've released and the public comments that they've released, we have no choice but to go our different ways, and we'll deal with it in a legal way that we are dealing with this. It was immediately after I've raised this matter that the principal apologized and accepted that they've mismanaged this matter badly and regret the comments that he has planted in the public space, and really accept that the matter has brought disrepute to the school and they need to manage it, and they've assured me they will manage it. I also got a message of regret from the chairperson of council, and they indeed accepted, including the bishop, as indicated, is called a visitor in the schools, the person that is overall in charge of the school. They indeed indicated that they will meet my deadline of 1 o'clock. And that deadline I'm not going to extend, and that deadline is fixed. By 1 o'clock, I need a satisfactory answer that will ensure that this matter is appropriately attended and is resolved in a manner that will not allow the teacher to continue to be in the school, and that this particular school must withdraw all the public statements that they've uttered on this particular matter. I've been given the list of the name of the chairperson is Mr. John Patriokis, doctor, and the headmaster, you know the headmaster by now, and the bishop is Dr. Steve Moreo. These are the people that I met with the management of the school. So I wanted to bring it to your attention. That's where we are now. They're now in session, meeting to deal with the demands that we've given to them, and hopefully by 1 o'clock we'll issue a statement to indicate how far and how they've resolved the matter. And also the parents that approached me, they were protesting outside. I met with them as well, and I've requested them to meet and also deposit their recommendations to the meeting that is sitting now, so that by the time I get the outcome of the meeting by 1 o'clock, the views of the parents are also incorporated in that thing. Oh yes, that the said teacher has been found guilty on 3 charges. One is of bringing the school in disrepute. 2, it's on the utterances that they've made that are racist. And thirdly, in contravening the code of the South African Council of Educators, which it says. So those are the 3 charges that the teacher has been found guilty of, and we really believe that they must act appropriately. The current sanction that is on the table is not satisfactory at all. Thanks, Steve.
Okay, thank you, MEC. Raise of hand.
Why the school management is not here is because they're in a meeting to meet a deadline that I've asked them to. I know from your side you'll prefer to see their face. From my side, I'll prefer to have a resolution by 1 o'clock. And that's the reason why they're not here. But I think on their own, they'll have a press briefing and they can issue a statement that they need to deal with this matter. The issue of SACE, we'll check that when we received their statement, we indicated yesterday that if they can't act the way we want them to act, we will take over the case and run it with the way we believe that we need to. But we want to give them an opportunity to redeem themselves. And we've given them that opportunity until 1 o'clock. Actually, they wanted 48 hours, and I said no. And I insist no. They had an opportunity to deal with this matter, and they didn't take this matter serious. They can't suddenly believe that 48 hours will be enough to deal with the matter. They've got until 1 o'clock to deal with this matter, and I will wait until I get that report by 1 o'clock, and then we'll leave it there. Matlago, I know you say our control and our power. That does not mean wait until 1 o'clock. Wait until 1 o'clock. We'll be in a position to deal with this matter. If indeed we are not satisfied by 1 o'clock, we'll unleash all the powers that we have as a department to deal with this matter. I'm not an MEC for public school or an MEC for independent school. I'm the MEC for education, whether public or private. As long as in education that portfolio falls within our mandate, we will manage it appropriately. So there must be no one that feels that we are either interfering or we are overstretching our role. That is why we said we don't want to interfere. And at this present moment, we have not interfered. We told them we are still advising you. Take our advice or reject our advice. You've got until 1 o'clock to demonstrate whether you are taking our advice or you are rejecting our advice. The law allows us to intervene, and we will intervene. That is why we have the HOD. We will intervene. We don't want to intervene now. Let's give them that opportunity to handle the matter, and we'll take it from there. So you will see the action that we'll take if I don't want to cross the bridge before we arrive at it. Let's give them the space, the latitude to deal with this matter, and then we'll take it from there. The apology of the principal it was very late. I must be honest. I felt that. I listened to his interview on 702. I also listened to his interview on Power, and I was really irritated, to be quite frank. I felt that this individual is underestimating this problem. And that is why even in the meeting, in no uncertain terms, I told him where to get off. I really felt that he is not fit and proper to preside over the school. So even that part, let's leave it with the school council to manage it. But we can't have a serious matter of racism, somebody found guilty. You tell us that it's proper to have restorative justice. You are a teacher. You are not a psychologist. How will you manage that? So we need to find a way of dealing with it, and I'm hopeful that the leadership of the school will deal with this matter without any further delay. We have just met, and we are at the offices of a body that manages all these independent schools. That is why we're here. We're meeting with them now, because we're having these many cases that are coming from their members. So we've just agreed with them in September. We're convening a summit that will deal with all issues in the private education system. The issue of fees that are galloping, the issues of subsidy, the issue of transformation within the sector, the issue of irregularities that we're picking up when they write exams. So we've just agreed with the association. Fortunately, this school is a member of this association. So we want the association to also assist us so that we can regulate the industry and deal with whatever that we need to deal. I've got a report that the children were given the necessary support, social support, so that the pain is minimized. But in my meeting with the parents and the documents that some of the parents have sent me, it is quite clear that that support was insufficient. And then there will be a need for us to discuss with the school what kind of additional support that can be provided and deal with it. But also, I don't think, and that is why we met with the association, I don't think it's this school alone. I mean, when the report about racism about this school broke, many parents in some of these private school, elite schools, started to also send me pictures and messages, arranging that you find a certain learner qualifies to represent the school in this, or got colors of a certain sporting code, you must go and represent. They are pulling that learner back purely because of a wrong skin color, they are replacing, or when they are school awards. So there are many cases where I want to push all these matters to the September summit so that we can meet the industry and flag all these issues that we are gathering about the sector. You can't move from public education on the basis that public education promotes non-racialism and believe that you can go to private education to do the opposite. All these schools, whether they are public or private, they are not above the constitution of this country, they are not above the Bill of Rights of this country. So non-racialism is non-negotiable. Non-racialism cannot be postponed nor delayed. Non-racialism must be protected but be implemented. But non-racialism is not harmful anyway. So those that don't want non-racialism will impose it on them because it's not harmful. It promotes social cohesion and it allows us to deal with some of the issues that we want to deal with. Thanks. Unless the HOD wants to add something. Thanks.
The next round, not in that.
Oh, yeah.
One. Okay, as a new one before the second bite. Okay, second bite. Okay, we'll come back.
Hi, it's Tabitha from SABC. MSC, what do you think is sparking all of these racist acts all of a sudden? Do you not think it's maybe an indication of what is happening in society and now it's obviously brewing in schools, and maybe also an indication that we probably don't really have the good rainbow nation that we think we have? And do you think they're undermining you because you're black, or is it just because they don't care?
Well, schools are part of society. You go to a website of any media house. I mean, I enjoy the comments that you see on EWN when people comment. You see planted racism. So we are not immune. And that is why, even at the policy conference of the ruling party, some of us were calling for a strong action to deal with these issues of racism. we are quite convinced that the regulations or the rules or policies that are currently in place are not sufficient. So what we are seeing in schools is not something that is new within the school premises. It's everything that is happening in our society. Go to our communities. We are at war against each other, to be quite frank. Go to workplaces of major companies. We have problems. Even yourself, where you work, you know your own stories. So we are not immune from this thing. You can't say, I mean, you check the tweet that was on 702 as well, where we are compared to young dogs. So we are not immune. It's a broader societal issue that needs to be confronted. Whether this challenges our belief in non-racialism, surely not. We knew that non-racialism is the future. We knew that non-racialism cannot be postponed. We knew non-racialism is the only thing that will restore justice in this country. So we must not be impatient. We must not be quick to pass judgment that non-racialism is dead. I still believe, and I really believe, that our forefathers, our leaders that sacrificed and died for this non-racialism will be disappointed if we start to challenge non-racialism. What we need to do is to deal with racists decisively. You must not give racists a room to breathe. We must really nip any form of racism mercilessly. We must not allow racism to raise its ugly heads. Anyway, racists are mindless. They are brutal. So you can't handle racism as if it's a flower, it's a rose. You must handle it brutally, and you must ensure that at all times you educate racists on the importance of non-racialism. As our leader said, no one is born a racist. So we must not get tired to convince racists to deal with these things. Personally, I'm attacked if you go to my social networks. You go to where I go. Sometimes when I go to malls, I get insulted by people. I don't mind. I always tell them that I'm vulgar proof, actually. Just like a jumping castle. If you insult me, it will bump. I'll not feel anyway. But I'll not get tired because we are confronting the issue of racism. And I know racists will start to attack us when we are dealing with this issue of St. John. But we must not get tired. If we can't deal with racism, I can tell you, we are taking our country backward. And some people will also shout, you are chasing racism, you are forgetting the state of education in our public education, fix it there. Who said we can't do it both? Who said we can't do it both? We can do it, and at the same time we can deal with this thing. So we are not going to say what is important, what is not important. What is important is that we must uphold the constitution of this country. We must ensure that no one's rights is violated, and the dignity of every learner must be protected. And I'll be the first one to defend that.
And you see, when you had your entourage around at this school with high walls and security guards, did you sort of like get a sense that an environment here, a conducive environment for learning, has been created up to this incident? Did you get that sense?
Well, I must be honest. The hospitality was okay. They welcomed us well. I don't drink tea because I still believe at this age. I don't understand why people take boiling water and drink it. So, but they offered tea. Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't take tea. I've never taken tea in my entire life. So I politely declined. But the hospitality, really, it was something that I must be honest, I cannot fault. I know the school is in an area which, it's a crime-infested area, so I'm not going to pass judgment about the walls and other things, but the learners were very respectful. When I entered the premises, they would stop, greet me, and it's only the staff members, and unfortunately I didn't have time, that they wanted, black staff members, wanted to meet with me to express their views. And I felt that if I played that part, it will be unfair. Why meet black staff members and not other? And I felt that because we have not intervened, we have not taken over the running of the school. Let everyone had a problem, raise it with the management of the school, and the management will raise it with us. But I'm very reluctant to pass judgment about it. But it's one of our top performing schools, actually, this school, to be quite frank. So that is why when there is a problem, we felt let's nip it in the bud as quickly as possible and attend to it and deal with it the way we want to deal with it.
My second question was
Yeah.
why do you think they're undermining it?
Well, I don't think that I'm undermined, to be quite frank. And these things happen. It's not only in these schools. I have a problem now in, is it Eden Park, HOD, no? I have a problem in Eden Park, as I'm speaking to you now, where communities differ on approaches, and they feel that if I don't come and intervene, then it means that I don't take them serious. So I don't want to pass judgment that the report they gave me, they acknowledged and accepted. I think they apologized even in the meeting that the report they gave me was substandard, and they will rectify that, and they will give me an appropriate report that will allow me to take decision. But I don't want to say they're undermining because of. If you are a leader, you must know that not everyone will glorify you. There are people that will criticize you, there are people who will undermine you. It's how you deal with that aspect that will determine whether you are a good leader or not. So where I stand, I really believe that the schools respect our authority and will deal with the issues the way we want to deal with them. Thank you so much. I think we are all.
I think we are done.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. There's coffee there.
Well, I said give me 72 hours. 72 hours has not expired, isn't it? 72 hours have not. Let me tell you why I need 72 hours, so that you can understand. There are some procedural matters that I felt that the HOD, as the administrative head of the department, must also convince me that indeed those administrative requirements were met. There's an accusation that the chairperson of the school governing body that recommended the appointment of the principal does not have a legitimate standing to remain in the SGB by the time he wrote that particular report. So I must ask the HOD to go and check whether indeed this person was qualified to be a member of the SGB. If indeed you are qualified to them, it means that the decision of the SGB is standing. So give me 72 hours. It expires today, but by Monday would give you an announcement. But there will be a principal in that school on Monday, so that we don't have the problem that we're having with.
Can I just ask one question, MEC, regarding the race issue? Do you think schools know how to deal with these cases, or shall I say some schools know how to deal with these cases when they come to light, and they totally just choose to go the other way?
Well, if you can't claim to be a school if you don't have rules and regulations that we've adopted. So they're quite aware of the rules and regulations. It's just an attitude that we are not going to get caught. That's the attitude. So and when they got caught, they're quick to apologize. If you can see the way people are apologizing this morning, so they're quick to apologize when they know. So our approach is very simple. You are a school on the basis of rules and regulations. Actually, this sector is highly regulated. There is a law on everything, even when the school must start and end, and the school uniform that must be on. So it's a highly regulated sector. So there's no way, therefore, that you can claim that we're not aware when some of these activities are taking place within the school premises. So let's wait until 1 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock now.